in every Monday and Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time for Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Live audio on TuneIn Radio and Spreaker.com. Plus live video on Ustream.tv. From the demented minds at ArmedRadioGlobal.com.
It is Monday night time for some Straight Talk. This is your host, Matt Hasley. We tons of stuff going on today. November 28th, Cyber Monday. So, all you online shoppers want to get past all that craziness of the stores. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about Ohio State, what happened there today. A little bit about the NFL. We got a bunch of stuff. We got Japan, what they did. Wow, I can't believe that. That would freak me out. And also, vets coming out for support. I love this. Special thanks to our sponsors out there, Eat24.com. Have you ate yet? Well, if you haven't, log on to Eat24.com. Download that app for your favorite mobile device. Click, order, eat. It's that easy. Also, hot sauce, Vault.com. Check them out. Louis got it. Hottest of the hot. Wimpy for the wimp. Log on to hotsaucevault.com. Get it for Christmas. Get those gag gifts. Everything. They got it all. So check it out. They got stuff. If you think you got a guy that really likes hot sauce or gal and you want to test them, well, get something that bound to get your sinuses going. No, it's check them out. Louis at hotsaucevault.com. Also, Lyft. Need to ride somewhere? Log on to LYFT. They'll get you there. No, we had Turkey Day Thursday. Had NFL games Thursday. Some college games Friday. Then college games over the weekend, and it was really wild. Was really kind of throws you off because you're like, who's playing Thursday? Look at Green Bay. Talk about a short week. They play Thursday and then they play Monday. Wow, that's fast. So that's a quick turnaround time. They you got Green Bay Eagles on right now. It's 14-10 Green Bay. But talking about NFL, my beloved Bears. I'll tell you what, Matt Barkley from USC played like a champ. He reminded me of the old Replacements. The movie The Replacements, where that one guy was so fast nobody could keep up with him, but he couldn't hang on to the ball. My God. He threw it right, he takes him down, he's driving downfield, throws it right in the breadbasket of the guy. The guy hits it and drops it. I'm just like, oh my God. And then on 4th and goal, he hits the guys in the hands again, and the guy drops it. I'm like, okay. So, what does he got to do? I mean, you can't throw it any better than he did. These guys just can't catch. I got to give him credit. Coming off the practice squad, and all of a sudden, ba-bam, hey, guess what? First NFL start. I talked to some people about him. They said, when he came up, they thought he was going to be the next best, he was going to, next best thing since sliced bread. They talk, what do they say, They were talking about how, and, hey, look at Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner was bagging groceries and playing arena football. And all of a sudden, he becomes Super Bowl MVP champion. I mean, I would love to see, Matt Barkley be the Bears quarterback. I mean, Cutler's had his opportunity. And not saying that he doesn't have the talent, because he does. It's just his attitude. He just acts like he didn't care. I mean, I watched him on the sideline. At least Romo. You know, Romo's out injured. And Dak Prescott's been great for Dallas. Won 10 in a row. And Romo is actually cheering him on. You got to. You can't sit there and not cheer your own team on. But to watch the look on Cutler's face, he's standing there and he's got his mouth kind of like dropped open, and then all of a sudden the guy drops a pass, and it was almost like, thank you. Like it was, like you could just tell it looked like he felt satisfaction that this guy's not succeeding when he can't. So, I don't know. It just looked that way to me. But I think most people that are Bears fans had their fill. Whether they'll, I don't know. McCaskies, they seem like they won't, they won't make the hard decision. But who knows? I'd love to see him do it. It's they got to do something. I mean, I know John Fox, when he came in, he knew it was going to be a rebuilding, but my God, when you got to start at the first brick, it's frustrating to watch. And they could have won the last 2 weeks. That's what irritates me so bad about it. They could have won. Apparently, Tom Brady violates NFL policy by their NFL highlights policy. It says if the NFL hates more than touchdown celebrations, it's people sharing their content online. Enjoying NFL content is not, disseminated through the NFL officials' channels. It's strictly illegal and will land you in the league's prison, deep breath, or beneath 345 Park Avenue. The NFL has always been, this is an article by MSN Sports, has always been hyper-vigilant about deleting unauthorized videos. But starting this season, even NFL teams are banned from sharing any game footage on social media. And I like this. They go, God forbid you generate any excitement about your product. Well, leave it to Tom Brady to find another policy to violate. He posted this video of his half-hearted blocking attempt on Facebook page Monday. This video is perfectly fine from a legal standpoint. The transformative nature means it satisfies the fair use provision of U.S. copyright law, but the NFL prefers the extra-legal judiciary methods. So I'm already on the record as saying Tom Brady's Facebook page is the worst, but if he's trying to stick it to the NFL, I have to respect it. You look at, this is an article written by Dan Gartland from the Sports Illustrated. It kills me. You can't share anything on social media. You can't wear certain colored shoes. You can't wear stickers on your helmets. Can't do this. But if you kneel down, that's considered freedom of speech. So, when Tim Tebow knelt down in the end zone, people gave him crap for it. Well, they go, the courage he has for this Colin Kaepernick. Well, the last game, he got booed like crazy. I'm like, when are they going to wake up and realize that they're losing fans because they won't solve the problem? If you had a business and every time you had somebody come in as a customer and your employee pretty much told them to go pound sand every time they walked through the door. Sooner or later, you're going to go, wait a minute. Is it his freedom of speech? Well, let me see. He's an employee of the NFL or that team, and the NFL's losing money because of it. Let me see. Wait a minute. We're losing money. Let's do some punishment. No, or let's sit back because we're afraid to do our job. But if you even, there was more punishment for Tom Brady supposedly deflating a football that they had no proof over than there is for this guy. None. I tell you what, I think the NFL needs to stand up, do their job, quit being such sissies. It's how long has it got to go on before they finally figure it out? Well, they're trying to do is, what should we do? Cut the game shorter, and maybe do is, let's, do this, do that, whatever. They're going to, we got to kill the snake. Oh, chop off his tail. Oh, a little more of his tail. Oh, that'll stop him. Well, the NFL is refuting a report about the future of Thursday night football. So the report surfaced on Pro Football Talk Sunday that the NFL was considering getting rid of Thursday night football. Many rejoiced across the nation. After all, Thursday night football had felt like a forced product, one that should have been reserved for special days like NFL kickoff and Thanksgiving Day games. I don't mind Thursday night football. The only problem I didn't like it was only on the NFL Network. So, unless you had a bunch of, you bought the bigger cable package, a lot of people couldn't get it. So, yeah, it's with this last week we had NFL games on Thursday. You got them, Thursday, Sunday, Monday. So we're covering plenty of nights of NFL football, which I could watch. You could have a game on every night of the week. I could watch it. The only thing I don't like is, and I've talked about this before, is when they go over to Europe. And then they're talking about having a team in Mexico. And I don't know what they're trying to get a team in Canada. They're worried more about being a global league than they are worried about taking care. That's the thing. It bothers me is they want to do is go to Europe and they want to broaden the league. Well, the only pockets that puts money in is the team owners and the team owners and the franchise and the NFL. It takes money away from people that work around the stadium. The vendors and all the hotels and rental cars, you name it, attractions around the restaurants that when the NFL has a game, there's that city tends to make some money, some serious money from it. Well, it's money taken out because they want to do one game overseas. The more that they go overseas, the less that person gets to work, that works for that team, or that less hotel rooms that are taken up. They don't see they see it as we want to grow the brand. I want you to take care of the people that help take care of you all the time. We talk about, people wanting to go to $15 an hour. Yeah, that's great. The problem is it's like the NFL. They go, we want profit sharing. Well, okay. Well, you get profit sharing and help incurs. You help pay for when they have a loss in some years. You just help pay for some of it out of your own check. You pay for the employees, and you pay for the food that goes, for the people in the stadium and everything. Try footing the bill for that. The players don't have to do that. But they think, oh, well, we're making all this money for you. Well, you don't have to play football. There's 1,000 or more people. It's like on the tour, the PJ Tour. 1,000 or more people are waiting to take your spot. And we'll become the next phenom or whatever it is. Tiger is supposed to be coming back, hopefully. It says, I think he's back this Thursday, they're talking. So, they're ready. It says, there was a USA Today did an article on him. It says 3 simple ways to tell if Tiger Woods' long-awaited comeback is for real. And 1, staying around par, stay healthy, and no two-way misses, whatever. The thing I thought was interesting, and this is going to be a big shot in the arm for Bridgestone. There's a rumor that he's going to be trying the Bridgestone B330S. And if he starts playing that ball's going to sell. I mean, they already sell now. I sell them in my shop. It's a great golf ball. And a lot of people don't realize that, Callaway and Bridgestone are major ball manufacturers. They make a lot of golf balls for other companies. So, that's what I'd love to go. I'd love to go check out the Bridgestone ball factory. That would just be cool to see them make them. But yeah, hopefully Tiger's back this week and looking for a good tournament. But, in other games, was it Michigan-Ohio State game? What a game that was. Wow. Probably instant classic. 4th and 1 in overtime. And Ohio State goes for it. And they spot the ball, have to go to the replay monitor to see. It's so close. But you think about this, this official, for him to not call it, to call it, oh, no, did not make it or whatever, it's short by 2 inches or whatever, he would almost be in fear of his life to make that call. I'm not saying that it wasn't a correct call, because I think it was. I think it was a first down. Then the very next play, he runs for the touchdown to win the game. So I think it was a good call. There's actually a blogger in Michigan that actually has proof that from the camera angles and everything, that the officials made the right call. Well, that didn't stop Harbaugh, who is notorious for being what you would call a little mouthy. But Big Ten fined Michigan $10,000 for Jim Harbaugh's complaints about these calls. It says, he says at one point Harbaugh lost his temper after an offside call on Michigan, and his unsportsmanlike conduct penalty helped set up an Ohio State touchdown. He also broke his radio headset, which had to be salt in the wound. So, yeah, it's he is pretty much notorious for being a hothead on the sideline. And I bet it's going to be tough to sit on that sideline because I know some Michigan fans are rather vocal, but it's it would be tough to be that coach on the sideline and have to sit there and be in charge of all that. But yeah, he close game. Wow. And in NFL, what they have they come down to the Kansas City Chiefs last night and Denver Broncos tied. Going to be 5 seconds left to go. Kicker going to kick for Kansas City. Well, Denver tried a 62-yarder. The guy didn't make it, but so then they ended up getting it to where they could drive it down and get it close enough to where they could score, kick a field goal and win the game. With 5 seconds left to go, the guy doinks it off the crossbar, and it still goes through. But my opinion is they should go to solve kind of like a kicking contest at the end there. Do his take, have each kicker set up. Don't worry about having a line, anything. Just take the lines away, the guys trying to block it or anything like that. Just take them away. Set up, set your kicker first bolt, start out 35 yards. Both make it, go back to 40. Both make it, go back to 45. Both make it, go back to 50. And keep going until somebody finally misses. And that's what it's going to be. And have a shootout at the end there. And that would solve your ties. I don't think there should be any ties in the NFL. I don't think there should be any ties in college. We don't have a participation trophy, so. But, no, it's, that would be the easiest way to handle it. I mean, if you want to put, your line there and have them try to block it at the same time, you could do that. But then it ends up being no penalty involved. You can't have a guy off sides or anything like that. So that's why, if you're just doing it by kicking and put it on to pressure your kicker, then you got to have a good kicker. Well, get away from sports, giving it a break. Ohio State campus went into lockdown today. They had run, hide, and fight tweeted out. Run if you can, hide if you must, fight if you will. You know what I mean? If you get to the point where you only can do is survival, is fight, then sometimes you might have to come down and fight. But started out, it was a shooter, active shooter on campus. And apparently it says, this is an article that came out, it said Ohio State knifeman ranted about how he was sick and tired of seeing my fellow Muslim brothers being killed and tortured on social media hours before wounding 11. Abdul Razak Ali Artan has been identified as the assailant behind the stabbing attacks at OSU Columbus campus Monday morning. He has been described as a Somali refuge and logistics management student at the school. It says the fire alarm was pulled at Watts Hall just before 10 a.m., and Artan reportedly mowed down evacuating students and staff with his car. He then got out of his vehicle and started slashing victims with a knife, injuring 11, including one critically responding OSU police officer, Alan Harujko, 28, shot Artan dead after he failed to respond to commands. 2 other men were taken into custody, but police now believe that there was only one attacker. The shelter in place was lifted just after 11:30. said the attack came after ISIS called for jihadists to use knife attacks as their most widely available weapons. It says authorities are investigating Facebook posts allegedly made by Artan, which warned America to stop interfering with other countries. If you want us Muslims to stop carrying it says if you want us Muslims to stop carrying out lone wolf attacks. The post also mentioned radical clerk Anwar al-Awlaki, I can't pronounce something, and states that Artan is sick and tired of seeing more fellow Muslim brothers and sisters being killed and tortured everywhere. I can't take it anymore. It says authorities are currently investigating the post allegedly made by Artan, which mentioned radical cleric Anwar al-Awlaki and accused America of interfering with other nations. So it says, "We are not weak." Remember that, the post said, according to NBC News. 2 hours before that, another post read, "Forgive and forget. Love." Artan left at least 11 on whom critically after he drove onto the sidewalk in University on Monday afternoon. It kind of makes you think of that Paris attack. We're running people over. The officer that who happened to shoot. This came out. This filmmaker. His name's Tariq Nasheed, who is a filmmaker, suggested on Twitter Monday that using the term hero to describe the white police officer who shot and killed Somali stabbing suspect is racist. It says, so white, and this is his tweet he put out, to Tariq Nasheed. He says, so white officer Alan Harushko, who shot and killed the black Somali stabbing suspect in Ohio, is being paraded as a hero. That's interesting. He said, and then later on he said, he posted, he goes, this suspect was killed during a crime spree and no cops were propped up as heroes. I wonder why. And that's talking about during the Boston. He said Nasheed attempted to back up his theory by pointing out shooting an incident last month in which he claimed no officers were labeled as heroes. As one Twitter usually quickly pointed out, the officers actually were. It says, this is going back to that shooting in Boston. It says, Evans thanked the doctors and he said a prayer before the whole city to pray. Out of surgery, Morris woke up and asked Evans to thank the officers who saved his life. Evans swallowed hard and promised he would do that. As the day wore on and the prognosis for the two officers improved, Pat Rose exhaled heavily. I can't believe we're not burying two cops, he said. Every one of them responded as a hero. And that was last month. So they don't see the comments, and they want to turn this into a race issue. The guy had what looked like a machete. They showed it laying on the street, and he apparently pulled the fire alarm to cause the people to run out. And when he did, that's when he ran him over. And then he got out and started stabbing people. So when I heard it go out, I was happy to hear that nobody had died. And I was happy to hear that there wasn't multiple shooters. So it's just sad to think that people are that evil. We have, it says police vehicles and ambulances converge. There's 60,000 students on campus. I was really worried that there was going to be an attack at the Macy's. And that's the time when, they try to hit or times when there's a lot of stuff going on. So, yeah, it's a good thing that did not happen. We have, Black Friday went by. And if you hadn't got to see some of the videos of Black Friday, and I don't know, I'll have to look at the, there's a Black Friday deathcount.com. I was on there. Only 2 deaths in 2016. Only 2. And that's surprising when you say it. And both of them were in the parking lots. Shootings out in parking lots. Pretty crazy. But, you look at, with the videos that went on Black Friday, these people destroyed a Nike shoe store. They'd pick up the shoes, look at it, didn't fit, they threw it on the ground. And people were actually walking on boxes and just, it was just a mess everywhere. You think about that's the mentality people have. They don't care. It's not theirs. They don't care. They want to get in there and get what they want and then out. I saw people where they were actually shoving each other because the other person was following them. And but the one, there was a report, and they title it Season's Beatings. This is a report at Walmart that says the man could be seen kicking the furniture on the shelf and yelling, "Get out, I'll kill you," and kicking the shelf again. When the woman filming told him to calm down, he looked over her and slapped the camera out of her hand. It said, meanwhile, Black Friday pandemonium was going crazy on Thanksgiving. It said, this is, and he was trying to kick. Says, shopper took an exception to the child hiding under a shelf and started passerby, and he was kicking at the shelf, telling us, if you don't get out of there, I'm going to, he's going to kick. So, people just lose their minds. And, you think about it. If the media portrays it to where if you don't get this TV, this 70-inch TV for $400, if you don't get it, oh my God, your life's going to be ruined. You have to go and do everything you can to get it. Sleep outside. Have meals brought to you. I'm like, what is wrong with our people? I'm sorry, but I'd rather go spend more money to go get it and be real nice and easy and have it delivered to my house. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's crazy. I know it goes on every year, but I just don't know. It's like people they go crazy for, this has been, I bet it's been 20, maybe not quite 20 years ago. The gas was, went down to 99 cents. And people were waiting in line for an hour to get gas. And I'm like, if you drive across the street and get it for $1.10, if you bought 20 gallons, it costs you $2 extra. And you're gone. If you're not sitting there for an hour and a half to 2 hours worth that $2, well, it is to me. I'm sorry, I'd be gone. I'd be like, whoop, fill up, see you guys. Stand there and look like, you guys go wait for the pump. And I had one guy say to me, our gas had gone back up. And this one I lived in Illinois. And there was a little town that was about, 30 miles away. And he dropped down to 99 cents there. And he goes, I'm going to drive down and fill up my car. I'm like, really? You going to go get your 500-gallon tank or something? And he goes, no, why? I said, well, you're going to spend the difference driving there and back. I said, what kind of gas mileage you get? And even if it gets 25 miles a gallon, it was 30-some miles there. So he spends 3 gallons of gas getting there, so there's the $3 difference he saved. He looked at me and he goes, God, I never thought of it that way. Yeah. I mean, you know, I've seen people where they'll be like, they'll see an ad in the paper for like a certain grocery store or whatever, and they'll be on sale for that item. And they'll drive to like Walmart to buy meat, and then they'll go to, they call them Hy-Vees here, the Hy-Vee grocery store, and they'll go to Hy-Vee to get milk, and then they'll go to, they'll go to all the, like, Target to get, and they'll drive around, and they spent their difference in gas, but they don't see it because it's not coming out of their hand, actually. Yeah, it's crazy to think what we do, and we don't realize we're doing it. You know, it's like years ago, way back, I used to smoke. It's been 13 years since I quit. So 13 years ago, you know, cigarettes didn't cost what they do now, but I used to smoke, so I'd spend money on cigarettes, you know, never thought anything. Like, oh, when you get, you know, when you quit smoking, oh, you'll be saving so much money, and I'm like, where's it go? I don't have this extra bunch of money sitting around because I quit smoking. I don't know where. It goes somewhere, finds another place to go to instead of me making a habit of it. But I did have, it was wild as I had my cable company today. My cable bill getting too high, and I said, we need to do something. I said, I need to do something about this. This is driving me nuts. Way too high. So I'm like, I call them up. And I do, where I get my cable, my internet, my phone is all together. And I call them up and I said, hey, can we do something about blah, 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 reducing my bill and blah, blah, blah. And I'm talking about how I could get rid of these channels and do all this. And she says, well, I got a deal for you. How about this? How about if you... And I was like, huh? And I was like, are you serious? And she says, yeah, we can do is put you on this program. We'll get you the TiVo DVR for free. And we'll add Cinemax and Showtime. And I had HBO and Stars before. Now I have Cinemax and Showtime. And I saved $100 a month. And I'm like, why wasn't I on this before? I'm like, are you kidding me? She says, I don't know. It's just a program they do. And I'm like, wow. When it's all said and done, it'll be about, probably $75, $80 because you got taxes and all that stuff on there. So, yeah, I'm like, thank you. And I got more movie channels. Which, I mean, I don't watch a lot of movies because I'm usually busy, but... And I got a 100 meg internet connection. Which is great when you're streaming 3 platforms like I am right now. But yeah, that's just crazy. I go, why? Like I'd sit there and go, no, that's all right. I'd like to pay more. I'd like to stick with what I got. Yeah. And she just laughed at me. Very nice lady. Great, a lot of help. Just shocked me. Didn't realize. It's like, calling your insurance company to find out you'd save money. Get better coverage or better, Speaking of that, I got to call my doctor. I got to go in, have a nose surgery. No, I'm not having a nose job done, but, well, technically it will be. So I can breathe out of the stupid thing. Going to have to, sometime in January or something like that, but. So, what's been going on lately? Recount. All this crazy talk about recounts. Well, Jill Stein. Oh, we want to do it for the integrity of the election. Can you say BS there? Why would she care? She'd get 1%. Has no effect to her. All we want to do is make sure that these elections were not influenced by other parties. No, she doesn't. There's more reasonings behind it. she wants to do is get to where they can hold back the electoral count, so when it comes time for them to vote, they won't actually be able to do is vote at that time. And then it'll go to the House and Senate, and they're hoping that it'll really throw a mess in it, and maybe they won't elect Donald Trump. Well, it's too late in Pennsylvania, I already heard. Pennsylvania already notified Joe Stein that time has already passed. Apparently Wisconsin has already finished with theirs, and they said, no, it's still the same, Trump won. So it's all just a waste of time. And they also think that the money that she's got like over $7.5 million, that is going to go into her campaign fund for helping, Green Party candidates. So I don't know. I think it's a waste of time. And then also, which was kind of ironic, how Hillary said, that it would be, her exact terminology was that it would be, let me see if I can find it exactly. I'm going to quote her. Where is it? Oh, here. This is during the debate. Clinton said, not accepting election results was horrifying. So she goes, that is not the way our democracy works. Well, unless we're the ones who do it. So, it's pathetic to think. And then I saw a report today that she's still thinking about running in 2020. Well, this lady just will not go away. It's like a freaking bad penny or a freaking boomerang, just whoop, 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 and it comes back. You're just like, what the heck is with these people? I've never seen somebody attacked as much as Donald Trump has been attacked. And it's all the stuff he has to go through. All the media still attacking him. Every pick that he has. Hell, he could probably pick Democrats and they'd find something wrong with that. So, yeah, where's it going to go from here? Who knows? I just wonder who he's going to pick as Secretary of State. Hadn't picked that yet. There's rumors going around. Mitt Romney, people are freaking out about that. They don't want Mitt Romney because all the crap he said about Trump when he was running for office. And I got to agree there. I think Trump needs an outsider. He needs somebody that's different. I would love to see, somebody that's going to be a straight shooter. But who knows? I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to go through that process, or what do you want to call it? That would be just too crazy. We have they have, with I'm looking at a picture here, just popped up on my thing, but it's just weird news. At that time of the year, and it was a picture of a guy stealing packages off a guy's porch. Well, they didn't realize that the package was filled with dog crap. And so the guy was stealing the package and then run into the car. They had actual video of it. But it's that time of the year when you got packages coming to your house. You better make sure that you You know, double check to who's going to be watching them, or who's going to sign for them, or where they're going to get them, or how they're going to leave them, because people are ridiculous. They will come and take them. I mean, I saw a video of a postal delivery person throwing them in the wood, in the ditch. I mean, it happens. I'm not saying they're all like that. I'd say it's very, very few of them that are like that. But they had one of the colleges that actually took down the flag because they were claiming that it was I guess insensitive or whatever. I don't know what it is. It says but Amherst College took down the American flag on but over 1,000 veterans gathered at Amherst College on November 28th, today, to protest the removal of the American flag at Hampshire College. It says, freedom is not free. That's the lesson that hundreds of veterans, their families, and friends, and the local residents hope to teach students at Hampshire College Sunday afternoon. They're all carrying flags and everything. It was really cool. And Jerry McGuire, veteran, said, they took down my flag. They have a right to do that. I'm here to defend their right to do that. But I want them to understand how bad it hurts me. You think people don't realize that, with these hundreds gathered to show their support of the American flag, when it stands for, people don't realize what family members did for this and died for this to give you the opportunity to protest. But I can't understand why a college would give in to something like that. That doesn't make sense. People. I spent time in the military. I hate seeing these people that they call it the false valor, or whatever they call it, or where they go and they were never even in the military, or if they were, they put down that they received the Bronze Star and the Congressional Medal of Honor. They're not even. Or they say they were a Navy SEAL when they weren't, or a Ranger, or a Green Beret, or whatever. They want to do is they want people to believe that they're more than what they were. I have a gentleman, I'm trying to get him on the show. He does that. He goes around and exposes people for, that stolen valor. He's former Navy SEAL, and they say it happens almost constantly. They get these guys who that's what they do. They're retired military, and that's what they do for a living. They go through and they try to get these people that are they'll be getting veterans benefits that should not be. Some people don't know that these people are actually playing up false stuff. But I've seen some on the internet. They're so bad. I'm like, oh my God, how can you? Have you ever watched a war movie or something? And these guys have no clue. They make up stories. I had a guy who was in my shop, and we were talking to me, and we were on the discussion of duty stations and stuff like that. And he was in active duty. And it was on Veterans Day. And we were chatting and whatever. And all of a sudden, he looked at me and he started asking me questions. Like he was trying to do wasn't sure if if I was telling the truth or not. Well, I told him that where I was stationed, what camps over in Korea and everything, and he looked at me and he put out his hand and shook my hand. He says, "Hi, I'm Kevin," and I said, "Hey, Kevin, I'm Matt," and his buddy was with him. He goes, "Hey, Matt, I'm Dave," and I was like, and those two guys, they came out and they, after they got done, they came in, said, "Thanks for your service." I said, "Thanks for your service," and that's the type, when you got a guy that's legit and can tell, been where they've been, and they, a lot of people sit there and go, "Yeah, I'm a vet." What'd you do? Well, I was, ROTC. No, that's not a vet. You got to do active time. There's a lot of reservists that are serious vets that have gone to Iraq and Afghanistan and all that because they mobilized the reserve troops because we don't have near as many full-time active anymore. It's, I was lucky. I was in that window that only thing that happened really when I was in was Grenada. But I didn't have to go. So, I did do a year in Korea, which I talked to. He's since passed away, but he was head of our American Legion here, and he says that's still considered an active war zone. He says never had a formal truce. It's always just been a ceasefire. It's hard to believe that, but with what's going on over there now, I can believe it. Kim Jong-un, he's got a little bit of a temper problem, so what's going to happen, where he's going to go, I don't know. God, I just think he's going to and eventually, try to nuke South Korea or somewhere. I don't know. He wants to nuke the mainland. That's what he wants to do, Over Japan, I'm going to talk about this before we forget, but over in Japan they had this theme park, and they created a skating rink, and they froze the fish. It says Japanese theme park has apologized for freezing 5,000 fish into the floor of an ice skating rink and has closed the attraction for facing backlash from the public. It says Japan Space World theme park froze 25 different types of fish, crab, and other shellfish into the ice as part of the winter attraction called Freezing Port. It said the park showed pictures of some of the fish half submerged into the ice with their mouths open, and other fish arranged in arrows and other shapes. The photos had captions such as "I'm drowning," "suffocating." Online commenters flooded the sites with negative reviews. It says, what are you people thinking about? To use dead fish to decorate a playground? Said one commentator, who added the rink was disrespectful of life. It says, well, you think about it. If they were already dead, what do they do to a hunting lodge? They put deer heads all around, and moose, and everything. That's what they put up out there, and you don't see too many people complaining about that. But it is kind of a little morbid to sit there and skate over a bunch of dead fish. But they said the park would unfreeze the skate rink to remove the fish, hold a memorial ceremony for the fish, and reuse them as fertilizer. So, give a little sign of the cross. Whoop, whoop. But, you think, what's any different than going to a hunting lodge and standing there and see, antelope and deer and buffalo and bear and, all kinds of animals all around a hunting lodge as trophies on the wall. because you're not skating over top of them. Yeah, it's just not something you see. And people go into these hunting lodges and they don't even think about it. Yeah, I saw the pictures on the news, and it does look kind of weird because, I mean, just not something you normally see every day. I don't know. You know, you here's one is man was arrested with $330,000 in weed wrapped as Christmas presents. Millbury, Ohio. Ohio State troopers arrested a California man with a truck stuffed full of marijuana. Largest bust I've ever been involved. Well, we got to do is observe it, go on the truck, and it was a semi-load full of oleo, and they had it staggered, and they had over 450 pounds of marijuana in garbage bags. That's a lot of garbage bags, you think of. And it was staggered, where you go 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, and they had spaces in the load. And, it was all in black garbage bags. So, yeah, somebody had a plan to have a nice, party, I guess you would call it. This is a crazy story, and I want to touch on this, and this will be probably it for the night, but I don't know how this can happen, and this is just a miracle. It says a baby girl was found in a storm drain after she was ejected from a rollover car crash Friday night. She survived the incident with a small scratch. It says firefighters were shocked to find an 8-month-old infant in a storm drain after she was ejected from a crash involving an 18-wheeler. The infant's family was traveling on I-30 near Texarkana, Arkansas. It's amazing how they even knew to look in the drain. That's the thing. It said the infant was not properly secured in the vehicle. There has to be some kind of divine intervention for her to end up being okay. Texarkana firefighter Josh Moore told the local affiliate, when rescue crews arrived at the scene, they were told the little girl could not be found. They immediately initiated a search, expecting the worst. We immediately began searching the hay, Moore explained. Good Samaritan was already out searching in the hay, and he claimed he heard something in the general direction. Eventually, the search team moved a layer of hay covering a drain, and they discovered the missing child. The infant girl was sitting up on the grate, looking up for us, waiting for us to pull her out. She wasn't screaming, she wasn't crying, she was just sitting there waiting. He said they found the child sitting with her hands raised like she was asking to be picked up. I'm like, what's the odds of that? 25 feet away from where the accident was. I'm just, you got to do is say, wow. You just expect the worst on something like that. Well, let's leave on a good story. Thanks. And, that family just breathed a sigh of relief. So, all right. It's Monday night. See you back on Wednesday night. Remember, it's a fast hour. Have a great night. Great week. Be safe. December's coming. God, I can't believe it's already here. Almost December 1st. Great night. Great week. Be safe. If you see something, say something. And, see you when we see you.